DJ Black Coffee, who has won his first Grammy Award.
His 2021 LP Subconsciously has been named the best dance electronic album. It is a first nomination and Grammy win for Black Coffee in a career that has continued to blossom since his first BET Award in 2016. Then he won the Best International Act category, setting him on an upward trajectory. He hasn't looked back.
I thank everyone who's on the album. From Sagi in South Africa to David Guetta, who had believed in working with a smaller artist like myself, and trusting me and trusting my ear. Pharrell, Josie, Delilah, Una Rams, everyone who's on the album. I want to thank my fans and people who follow what I do all over the world. Thank you so much for believing in me. I want to thank my family. I want to thank my children. This is my firstborn son.
All right, we're now joined by entertainment reporter Tinashe Venge. Thank you for being with us. I think we can all agree this is much deserved, and he's already soaring. So I don't know if this can be a game changer for his career, but could it lead to another level, basically?
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. It's a big moment. I think any artist across the world, regardless of your background, will be proud to win their first ever Grammy Awards. And, in Black Coffee's case, I don't think it necessarily introduces him to the world. As you said, he's world-renowned. He's been touring the planet for years now. Every single European/Northern Hemisphere summer, he's booked and busy every single season, so he's well-renowned and well-respected in the DJ world. But of course, the biggest accolade in the global music industry is always going to be an impressive thing to add to your CV as an artist. And I'm sure he'll be incredibly proud of himself, not least of all because he was up against some pretty stiff competition, the likes of Major Lazer, the likes of Marshmello, some pretty stiff competition in the EDM world, but he stood firm. Subconsciously, friends from across the world who I've been trying to convert onto Black Coffee. So today I was extremely gleeful texting them saying, I told you so, because he has been that artist extremely consistent for a long time. And look, there's a long list of international acts who've been wanting to work with him. Diddy famously came out and said he wanted Black Coffee on his album, but schedules didn't work. Drake requested Black Coffee on his album. A whole host of other international stars wanted to be part of the Subconsciously project, but only a handful made it. Some of those that you mentioned from here at home in South Africa, the likes of Una Rams, to the likes of Pharrell Williams from abroad. Everybody wants a piece of Black Coffee, and it's only going to increase now that he's certified by the Recording Academy.
In an interview afterwards, he gave a shout out to African kids who are watching, he said, who come from where I come from but don't think they have a chance. This must be hugely inspirational to any African kid who's musical.
Absolutely massive. And I can just think about all the kids for an award. He didn't walk away with one, unfortunately. Trevor Noah, with the heart of the global entertainment community. Just look at how people talk about Thuso Mbedu when they speak about her. Just look at how, the fashion world thoroughly respects the clothes that are coming out of South Africa by the likes of Tebe Magugu. So South African arts and culture is in global demand, and I think this is just evidence of that. If you're a young kid in Africa with a dream, your time really is now. Your dreams really are valid.
And apparently you got the nod and you got an invite. Look, I guess maybe it'll make producers more excited about South African music. We can hope they look out for that fresh talent. I want to throw in a quick final question, though. A lot has been said about him taking his son to the stage, talking about his family. When Will Smith did that slap, there was a discussion about his brand. It was off-brand. That's not what he's about. Tell us about the reputation Black Coffee is building around his personal brand, not just in terms of his music around the world.
I think for as long as we've known him in the South African entertainment industry, one thing that can be said about Black Coffee quite consistently is that he does put his family first. We've seen it in good times, we've seen it in not so good times, and I don't think today's the day to probably go into some of those kinds of stories. But one thing has been clear, In his own way, similarly or dissimilarly to Will Smith, he's fiercely protective over his family. And, whatever the narrative has been about black coffee, he's always been keen to ensure that his children, at the very least, are protected or at least supported throughout everything. Now, him bringing his son to Las Vegas, him bringing his son to the stage at such a historic moment, I'm sure is a way of passing down, I'm sure he must have seen it as a way of passing down his legacy and his musical legacy to the family. Not necessarily saying that his son has to follow in those footsteps, but perhaps a reminder to his son to say, as a young black man, this is what you come from. You come from royalty. You come from the greatest DJ on the planet. You come from someone who said, I'm going to be number one. And look, this is evidence. This is what number one feels like. So I think it was that kind of message for his son. Not so much, he didn't have to be the protector this time around like Will Smith last week, but instead he got to be the supporter, the raiser, the grower that we've always known him to be.
All right, thank you so much, entertainment reporter Tinashe Venge.
All right, so while South Africa continues to celebrate Black Coffee's win, there's one special fan who was celebrating here at home, Sindi Dandala, his mother, who was very elated. Let's get the family's reaction now. Mama, siyabonga kakhulu ngethuba lakho, and please note that Mam Sindi has requested that we speak to her in isiZulu, and I will be translating for the viewers. Ma, siyabonga kakhulu isikhathi sakho, uzizwa kanjani, ufana ubujabulile?
Ngiyabonga kakhulu mntanami, angive ngijabulile ethi mama mina manje ngidala nje ngoba khona uMichael Jackson ngihambe phakathi kwabo ngiphethe iGrammy Award. So it shows ukuthi uma uNkulunkulu evuma ngephupho lakho liyafezeka.
And what Mam Sindi is saying there is that she's beyond happy, especially because he says that it feels like she's dreaming about this moment because her son has been aspiring to this moment since he was 12 years old and has been talking about winning a Grammy since then, saying that he'll be walking amongst Michael Jackson and other people in order to accept his Grammy award. So certainly she says that if God really allows it, it definitely will happen. Now, Ma, I mean, umubheka kahle indlela ukuthi nawe uzizwa ngayo na wonke umuntu amkele ngayo lezi ndaba ezimnandi kangaka. Ukuphumelela kwakhe kusho ukuthini kunina emndenini ngoba nomzukulu wakho ube lapha ne stage emenayo ubaba wakhe ukuthi amkele indondo yakhe.
Kusho kakhulu mntanami ngoba izolo ngibele ngiyembezi eningi kakhulu ngoba ngithema ngithi look back ukuthi siphuma kuphi nabantwana bami njenge-single parent ngabona ukuthi hayi uNkulunkulu uyazenza izimangaliso yakhe. Umzukulu wami uyokhuliswe yimina ngale nkathi nasithola kamzukulu wayeseseNatal esafunda ngayikhulisela umzukulu njengoba umbone emude elingana nobaba wakhe. Into eyenza ukuthi amthathe amise lapho.
Where Black Coffee took his son to the stage with him is that he wanted to show him that if you have a desire ukuthi ukhulume naye uthini.
Ngikhulumile naye nje eqeda nje ukuthola ama-awards ayike uqale ngami ukuthi angifonele wathi ma uright ngalomzuzu ke bengi-very emotional ngathi mntanami ngi-right ngijabule lokho okweqile kangokuthi ngiyakhala wathi nama I'm feeling so emotionally but angive ngijabulile ngathi nami ngiyaphupha esho kumina-ke kanjalo ma ngiyakwathi ma ngiyabonga ngawo konke ongenzile kona amaphupho ami wonke ayafezeka.
And his mother saying that, she was among the first people that Black Coffee phoned as soon as, after receiving that Grammy Award, and saying that she was very emotional at the time. But he really thanked her for all the sacrifices that she's made as a mother, and saying that, he's looking at, his dreams, they are coming true. And for him, it's a moment where he needed to thank his mother. And she said that she was quite emotional. Ma angazi noma umndeni wonke besenkwazile ukuthi nikhulume nawe noma baxhumanile nawe bakhuluma nawe bakhalalisela ngalokho sekwenzekile.
Asilalanga mntanami asilalanga nomngane angithi yasazi thina abantu ubonke isiko lethu nje thina abantu abamnyama ukuthi izinto mazisakhanya kufuneka ubonge abadala ubonge noNkulunkulu ngoba phela abadala yibona abasinxuselayo kuNkulunkulu ukuthi asiphe ibusiso.
Young ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
uma ungazofika necamera nje kuphela.
Awukhululeka ngeke ngifike nayo. Siyakubongela kakhulu ma siyakhalalisela ngoba nawe isikhathi sakho lesi osukuthi ujabule kakhulu ngento eyenziwe indodana yakho nomsebenzi wakho ushoyo ukuthi usuwenzile ekuthenini umkhulise. Siyakubongela kakhulu.
Ngiyabonga sana sami. Angikaze ngibulali uthongo ngibheke ngawenzolo nje ngobona. Ngendlela excited la akufiki ngisho uthongo ne-anxiety ongayazi.
Siyakubongela kakhulu ma. Thank you so much. That is Sindi Dandala, Mom Sindi Dandala, Black Coffee's mother. At the end there, she was talking about how the family WhatsApp group has been a buzz, Francis, with lots of emotion. People talking about the son's win and saying that this Grammy Award must also go to Mthatha, where he grew up as well, and not only stay in KZN. Yeah. And she says that they are going to be slaughtering a cow in celebration as to how they do this. And of course I did ask to score an invite.
And shout out to single moms everywhere who we've seen in South Africa just produce these incredible children. Well done, that was lovely.
All right, so let's take a recap.